Hey guys, Kathy Rankin here with your weekly soaps roundup, and there's tons going on our show, so let's get right into the good stuff. On The Bold and the Beautiful, when Thomas rebooted his phone, he suddenly received a slew of messages from Vinny, including, get this, a video which proved he'd purposefully thrown himself in front of the car being driven by Liam. Now talk about dumb criminals. Well, when Thomas told Justin about this newly discovered proof of Bill and Liam's innocence, the attorney cold-cocked Thomas and locked him in a cage that just happened to be beneath Spencer Publications. Well, turns out Justin was tired of being Bill's right-hand man and instead was going to take this opportunity to keep the boss behind bars and take over the company himself. Coming up, Eric is forced to break up yet another fight between Quinn and Brooke. Now, on Days of Our Lives, Sammy insisted she wanted to make her marriage to EJ work, but Lucas felt he was the better man for her. Well, Chad and Tony teamed up with EJ to try and oust Jake from the top spot at DiMera Enterprises. Kayla and Steve began to figure out that Dr. Snyder was stealing pills from the hospital and it involved Gwen in this scheme. But even as they were closing in on the truth, Xander's confrontation with the dastardly doctor resulted in Snyder having a fatal heart attack in Julie's living room, leaving Gwen and Xander scrambling to get rid of the body. Oh boy, here we go, the old hide the body plot. Coming up, Lonnie and Eli's big party is interrupted by shocking news. Well, you know the soaps, where there's a party, there's always a bombshell. Now, in General Hospital, Finn was able to create the antidote to save Chase's life. Unfortunately, it left his brother temporarily paralyzed from the waist down. Not a good thing, not the best antidote. Now, given that Chase had just married Willow, Michael was probably the one person secretly pleased by this development because it meant his lady love could not consummate her new marriage. Wow. Well, in prison, Alexis and Sean realized the judge who sentenced them both had a history of giving people of color harsher sentences. Now, Jason and Carly were stunned when a rival mob family blew up one of their warehouses, and after the stalker left a gift with Avery, a terrified Ava broke things off with Nicholas in order to keep her daughter safe. Coming up, Ava receives more unsettling news, finally on The Young and the Restless. Well, even as Billy was asking questions about the relationship between Victoria and Ashland, the two of them were agreeing to merge their companies. I can't wait to see how Victor Newman reacts to that bit of news. Now, Abby was shocked by the sudden return of her ex-husband, Dr. Ben Stitch Rayburn. You heard me right, Ben is back. And Kyle was confused and devastated when Summer, acting on Tara's orders, remember, dumped Kyle and told him she was taking a job in Italy. Amanda's new family continued to hit her with one shock after another. First, she found out that her father had known all about the existence of her and Hillary, and later Nia turned herself in, claiming she'd orchestrated Richard's death. Coming up, proving desperate times really do call for desperate measures, Kyle turns to Phyllis, of all people, for help. That's it for this week, you guys. We'll see you next time on the Weekly Soaps Roundup.